anytime you get an opportunity to play in an NFL game, it's a huge blessing. So just excited for the opportunity to go out and play and trust the training that I've put in for the last, however many weeks it's been. So.
How do you feel you have been? I know you didn't spend training camp.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. But it's, this coaching staff here is great. It's a lot of, smart coaches, guys that obviously know a ton about football. And so, just picking their brains and learning from them and obviously watching Jordan and Malik has helped me out big time.
How much different of a quarterback are you than when you made that start as a rookie?
I would say, I'm obviously more experienced, been around the game more, obviously seen more looks, seen more defenses. So I would say, I'm obviously a better player just from, being in the NFL for, 2 years longer. But just, I've seen it before, and I've kind of know what to expect, now that I've got a start under my belt.
Easy to just get thrown in against a Brian Flores defense, right?
Yeah, it's, like I said, anytime you get to play, it's a blessing. So, whatever the circumstances are, I don't really look at that. I just look at it as, it's a great opportunity. So,
Matt talked about this morning kind of your athleticism. Is your mobility something you kind of pride yourself on at the position?
Yeah, I would say so. I think it, kind of like Matt said, I would agree that it's, something that I think is an advantage in my game. So, I don't want to lean on it every play. Obviously I want to get the ball to the playmakers who are more dynamic and athletic than I am. But, when I need to, I like to pride myself on being able to use my legs.
Clayton, when did you find out that you were going to be starting Sunday?
I think it was later yesterday, kind of right around, when we were going out to practice. It's kind of when I found out, and I'd kind of suspected, but I didn't really know for sure until then. So.
Over the last couple months learning the offense, what has that process been like? Is there any overlap with past experiences?
There's a little bit of overlap. Obviously there's a lot of nuances and different things just with the run game, the pass game protections, all that type of stuff. But it was good getting in here, learning, like I said, from all the coaches and learning from Jordan and Malik. So it's been great.
You mentioned the Vikings defense a minute ago, but I guess where do you start in trying to prepare for them? And when you look at the film, what kind of comes out?
Just obviously you want to protect yourself. They bring, they do a lot of stuff, present a lot of looks, and bring a lot of pressure on defense. So knowing how to protect yourself and if they disguise and they fool you, being able to get the ball out or, use your legs to make a play. So I would say that's probably the starting point, is just knowing the plan and knowing, how to get the ball out of your hands, when and where and when to escape.